As mentioned before in the last video, starting at episode 28, GoBusters starts using a whole new opening, which I prefer a lot more than the original opening because it's so much more upbeat and out there with how hype it is. It's just slamming. One thing that the main three GoBusters were really hoping for from Masato is an idea for them to enter the subdimension themselves to fight Messiah. And also, if Masato's been in the subdimension for so long and appears fine, could the same be said about their parents? So, episode 20, this is when we get the combination of GoBuster O and Buster Hercules called Great GoBuster. And it's also the first time that the GoBusters meet the Messiah, but only for a moment until he goes back to the subdimension. So, let's talk about Great GoBuster. Alright. Compared to GoBuster O, it's slightly kind of... Okay, this is pretty mid-tier, and that's all I could really say. It doesn't look as clunky, sort of, as GoBuster O. I don't know, maybe it's because there's more stuff on it. This combination, it's busy. I really can't... That's really all I can say to describe this combination. It's busy. Like, the platform feet are fine. The jet becoming the arms is fine. But then the rabbit that used to be the arms, it's on the back for some reason. Probably because there's nowhere else to put those parts that used to be the arms. It's just, well, busy. And I don't know what. I'm looking at it now, like, my mind's immediately going towards the chest. There are, like... Okay, no, they're, like, two... There's, like... The chest has to stick out to, like, this much, because there's just a lot going on. The platform feet, I don't particularly mind as much, although they don't do it right like how they used to in the old days. But this combination is really busy, and that's all I can really say about it. Oh, and as for episode 20 itself, I found it to be a good episode because the monster of the week sets up illusions for everyone to fall for, and Hiromu's is of his family. I appreciate it because of how much it must hurt to bear those feelings of not having your family be whole, but saving the world is just more important right now. And even Masato makes a point of it, that real strength is knowing what your weakness is, just so you can get stronger. And now, episode 22, we get a new villain who has two guns named Gog and Magog. And if I was to ever use a clip from Cowboy Bebop, here it is.
I love the kind of woman that can kick my ass.
Our new villain is a female avatar named Escape, a dual-wielding sniper that Messiah created since Enter is constantly failing to beat the GoBusters. And yes, I am aware that she's very hot. Limit those thoughts in the comments section. So, Jin is hiding something from everyone because it's too particular how he looks exactly how he did 13 years ago. And since he's an avatar, any physical damage that should hurt him will instead hurt his actual body that's in stasis. But how has the subdimension stopped him from aging? Ryuji tried to ask Escape about it while fighting, but all it did was start the rivalry between them. So, in episode 28, going into episode 29, Enter had stolen extra Enitron from Masato and has been using it to evolve Messiah. So now it's time to enter the subdimension to stop him permanently. Now, episode 29 proper begins with the EMC receiving an SOS from Hiromu's father and everyone else that's from the research lab. They have actually been working for Vaglass the entire time. Oh, matter of fact, Megazords were actually the research team's idea, and clearly, Vaglas has been using them. To even confirm that it's Hiromu's dad, Masato reveals that he's stayed in contact with everyone the entire time. Within the moment of the team being subjugated into Vaglas and Masato preparing for himself and Jay, everyone needed time, and now it's here. The subdimension, on the other hand, is no joke. We've gotten a few illusions of what it's like up till now, and it's a completely different atmosphere that's dangerous for people, and the teleportation marker they received to go there will only last for 3 hours, so they're teleporting there through Great GoBuster. But before they leave, Enter and Escape learn of the deception and slow them down from leaving. Everyone manages to get ready except for Hiromu, who's caught up with Enter, and once he gets a chance to leave, he doesn't use his super speed to get out of there, and instead moves normally, which obviously doesn't work.
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
Now, this is only one of 2 complaints I have with this issue. That's one, while Hiromu is busy with Enter, everyone else is set to go, and Escape is leading an army to their hangar. My complaint is that Hiromu makes it there before them, when it should have been the other way around. Did Hiromu take an elevator, or did Escape take the stairs? They make it to the subdimension, and Enter and Escape just decide to finish them off there, and don't destroy their hangar and kill everyone inside. I'm not saying I would want that, but with their enemies gone from there, you'd think they would just because, well, evil. Although, that would mean that their next job is to protect their boss. Once they get to the subdimension, they fight a platoon of Megazords and activate their override system to be able to walk around the subdimension with no problem. And the episode ends with Messiah's new form, Messiah Cell, along with his army of revived monsters. Now, let's talk about Messiah Cell for a bit. It looks good. It definitely looks like a computer virus type of monster. Huh, good over here. I like it. And so, episode 30, Shut Down Messiah. Everyone goes after Messiah, and while aren't lucky at first, Hiromu, Ryuji, and Yoko stumble into a room where a Christmas party was held because they did separate from their families on Christmas. They find pictures of the crew, and another thing I wanted to mention up to now because it was actually, has some importance to the story. 2 episodes before now, Hiromu attends an award party for his sister. Yeah, she's a children's book illustrator, and in her book, she drew in 2 dogs named Gog and Magog. That's what Escape calls her guns. And she says the inspiration came from her mother's dog statue. It's possible that both Enter and Escape are composite avatars of the people that were absorbed into Messiah. And there's even some evidence for Enter too, which are a pair of goggles and some photos that have French quotes on it that even Enter says. There's no time to dwindle on that now because they find Messiah again, but not his avatar form, Cell. His actual presence is in his core. After everyone teleported the kids in the Buddyroids out of the building, the people inside were converted into data and absorbed into Messiah. They've been the leaks responsible for supporting Masato's efforts. And this is where it gets personal. The only way to beat Messiah is to destroy his core, thus killing everyone. I gotta be completely honest, I saw it coming a mile away that everyone was turned into data. But instead of trying to save them and prolong the shocking reveal, which, to be honest, some shows have done it before, they instead go forward because they didn't come this far to lose. There's no second thought to it. They go and beat Messiah destroying his core. Enter's part of the battle is fighting GoBuster Ace in his own Megazord that goes down along with the core. And Escape just leaves. They prepare to leave, and Jay asks if it's time for Masato to wake up his body, but nothing's changed. The conclusion of Messiah was actually pretty good. There was plenty of buildup due to events of filler episodes, and brought it all home to a fantastic conclusion. I don't really have any complaints. The Core 3 stopped being motivated by wanting to retrieve family and grow into heroes that act out a sense of duty. Now, they don't want anything except to honor their family's last wish. It's serviceable. 2 thumbs up. Episode 31 and 32. Note to self, never do that again. Anywho, episodes 31 and 32 are the Gavon team up. The reason for it was to promote the new Gavon movie, which I have not seen, but thanks to Superhero Tyson Z and the Space Squad movies I have seen before, I at least know that they modernized Gavin by promoting Kenji Oba's character and giving someone else the mantle. The plot is very simple. A remnant of Gavin's villains has resurfaced to Earth, and the GoBusters and Gavon team up. It's an around average special. I definitely think it works more in the GoBusters' favor because the second half is focused on one of the operators, Toru. In episode 32, when everyone gets sent to the Maku dimension, something else from Gavin, they can't call for their weapons until Toru uses his computer skills to fix that. Why it's more in the GoBusters' favor than Gavin is because, well, if you've seen the Metal Heroes and other content with the current Gavin, Geki is, well, kind of an idiot. He first attacks Nick and accuses him of being a bad guy, and if you've seen Q Ranger, you know it's not the only time that happens, and derails the GoBusters support staff. So, while I do think they were a good 2 episodes, it wasn't the best mixed franchise team up. And of course, Enter comes back, so we know he's not dead, pretty much. So, episode 33, back to Vaglas. Messiah didn't die. Instead, Enter put his consciousness into 13 backup cards and is starting to convert human, well, emotions and traits into data to restore Messiah through Metaroids. Nick ends up getting converted into data, and the GoBusters create a new power-up to not only save Nick, but to turn the Buddyroids into their powered customs. This power-up looks amazing. Like, it looks good. It's just chest armor, but it's beautiful looking chest armor that goes along with the suits. It's small traits from each of the Buddyroids are literally attached to them, and it looks amazing. But which one's my favorite? Probably reds, because my second favorite is blues for how bulky it is. Not to mention all the new unique abilities that they can do. Red can teleport, blue becomes an alchemist, and yellow can triple jump. So, like, while she's in the air, she can just step anywhere, like triple jump like that, sort of. I think that's what it is. And it's amazing. Also, if we're going back to Red for a moment, he gets his own straight up finisher called the Volcanic Attack, which is cold. I mean, like, it's a hot finisher, but the fact that he can transform into a cheetah just to charge through. Cold. Yes. And so, let's see here. In episode 35, the GoBusters and Enter are after a new mech that's a combination of a Buddyroid and a Megazord called a Buddyzord, called Tatagami Ryo. So let's pull it up for a moment. Tatagami Ryo. It's a motorcycle, a lion, and it's its own Megazord. So, it's It's all right. It's not so bad. Actually, let me be completely honest right now. It's fine. It looks totally fine. It's totally fine. It's good for it, what it is. Ooh, and Tatagami Lai-O is also the key to the last two combinations of the show, GoBuster Lai-O and GoBuster King. Let's talk about GoBuster Lai-O first, because that's the combination with the gorilla and the rabbit. I think I might like this a bit more than GoBuster O. I think it's because it's just that I think it's the good mix of blue and yellow that's doing it for me when I see this. Yeah, I think that's it. It looks good. It's not bad. It's it's good. And now the final combination, Go Buster King. This it's fine, pretty much. It has all the it has all the fancy stuff that was with Great Go Buster, but now it's with the lion, to which it probably works a lot better with the lion as opposed to with Go Buster Ace, because maybe it's because that with the lion it looks less clunky and more fluid for a Megazord. That's probably what it is too for Go Buster Lai-O 2. It looks more fluid. So good. And so, episode 37, well, just a filler episode, but Escape unleashes her new combat form, which, if you've seen Power Rangers Beast Morphers now, well, it's in season 2, this is Roxy's new form, Escape Evolve. It looks good. It totally, oddly enough, this actually totally fits the character. Like, I'm not kidding. Purple is a good color, but how it's designed so metallic, it's like, it feels like it's a total reflection of her, and it feels kind of weird, but it is, and it just looks so nice. Anywho, but episode 40, we finally get more of the deal with Masato. 13 years ago, Masato was experimenting with teleportation, and Masai's attack on the research center caused his work to fail. In the teleportation process, his body was and wasn't converted to data, because it's back in the subdimension, but it's starting to deteriorate. Masato's body is basically half data, and if he could collect all the fragments of his body, he could wake up from the subdimension. And how convenient, one of Messiah's backup cards has Masato's data on it. Speaking of which, there are 6 left, and 1 is inside of Enter, which may, or he could have always been able to do that. Unleash his own combat form, Enter Unite, and it looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous. I like that he gets a rapier sword. I like the detail on the chest. It just looks, again, it looks like it fits Enter as a person or character. It's like, for Escape and Enter, they both get monster forms that totally reflect them. I really can't think of any other shows where it's totally like that at all. And so, episode 41, we get a one-off character that appears in Dopso Sentai GoBusters, the movie. While it's played by a different person in that movie, here's who it is. Pink Buster. She apparently is a phantom thief who steals from bad guys. And no, she will never be as cool as Lupin the Third, because only he can pull it off and still be awesome. He can. So, episode 43. It's the Christmas episode. I'm not bothering with the plot. Enter just reveals to Escape that he never intended to bring their leader back, and instead wanted to create a new Messiah. And Escape, not happy about that, takes a Megazord and crushes Enter to death. Yeah, he's not dead. Knowing Enter, he would not die that easily.